Okay, well, we got a lot of stuff here for you, as you can see. And what I really do is go through and try to find every possible source for where you are that may be able to help you start a business or grow your business. Yeah. But what after we spoke on the phone, I think what I did is there's a whole lot of videos in here, but now I want to make just a video to show you the places I think from our conversation that are worth, starting. So you don't have to go through all of them and figure, oh, which one should I do? Maybe I'm better equipped because I found all these things to think that what is the best for you to start with, and I may be wrong, but what the hell. But the first thing, the list I put here, the list of things I think to start with. And they're all in the following, they're in the report, in the detail of the report that you'll see you have to find in the detail of the report. But first is the local small business development center. I don't know if you know about them, but I think they're the best thing, that the country has. To tell you the truth, for anybody who has an idea, want to start or whatever, they'll give you free marketing help, financial assistance, consulting help, legal help, publicity, technical, anything you need to start a business. And if you don't believe me that the country wants you to start a business, look in the beginning of the report. I have 3 videos there of government officials explaining how they help anybody start businesses. That's what they're there to do. So this is their job. They get government money or grants from the government, which in turn, actually, the small business development centers, they're usually with universities, and they're getting grants from the government to provide this. People on their staff or people they hire that are experts in doing this. So they do it all the time. They're free. So actually, in developing your business plan, this is a good place to start. They'll help you do that. Anything, and they're free because you go online and Google something, and somebody's going to charge you, an arm and a leg to do this, and they'll try to. Consulting business is like the biggest question that I hear that's stupid to me is, what's your budget? That means whatever you got, man, I could spend every penny of it. Not what's the most economical thing for you to do, but how much you got to spend, I'll spend it. Okay, so that's where I'd start. The other thing now is start looking for loans, because you need a couple $100,000 or whatever to start to see what possibility there is in getting that. But from non-traditional loans. Sure, these are not banks. These are nonprofit organizations, government offices that I'm going to tell you about, to contact. And even before you finish the business plan, you could give a general idea of what. And see, to me, even the business plan is you want to give people what the hell they want. So it's good to get as much feedback. Even make an appointment with them. Hey, I want to talk to you about an idea. I'm wondering about using this as a potential source of money or something like this, just to bounce some ideas off you if this is all practical. So help you focus, because if you do a whole series of things for a business plan and you're not even sure where you're going to sell that plan, then you probably built the wrong business plan. It's to me, you want to find where the best potential money is first before you start doing a plan. Sure, you get an outline and whatever, and that's a chicken and egg thing, and you'll keep doing it and revising it or whatever. But I think the more input you get ahead of time, because what you told me, and this looks like a pretty good deal, for people, even with a loan, because it's just really a bridge loan. It's not, a loan and maybe something will happen. Okay, so the 2 groups I have under here are really groups that are government related or government funded, or government offices that work with banks and guarantee your money at the bank. So that's the California Guaranteed Business Loans for $5,000 to $1.5 million, and free consulting. See, that's what a lot of these companies, these nonprofits are, and government stuff, is that they give you consulting. See, so with consulting, wow, that's what you want at this point. You're trying to get, pick people's brains who continually go after money like this where you live. And the other one here is a community development corporation. That sounds like corporation, but corporation in the development world really means a nonprofit. So they're a good one to talk, and they even say they have consulting something. So also you said that there are people you mentioned that will give, if you have the business, they'll give you a contract. Now I was wondering if it's at all possible, to think about this, if you could get a letter of intent or something like that to show these bankers, yes, this is real deal. It's not somebody just saying they'll do something. So from these potential customers and the customers that say they'll do it, if you could get something, a non-committal, I intend to do this or whatever, that would be nice to have in your pocket when you go searching for this. And because then you're just not another guy off the street with a dream. And also, if they know of people, I mean, these are big companies you're dealing with, tell me, I just need help financing. Can you suggest or whatever? Say, oh, no, we have a nonprofit with our business that does that kind of stuff, or you never know. These are the people that want you to start businesses, so maybe they would have something there. Also, there's another thing here in the government at the Department of Transportation, and look at that program I have there, the Department of Transportation, $750,000 for a small business to help them get contracts. Wow. Yeah. That's what you want. Yeah. So see if that, now if it's government contracts, I'm reading it, I'm not sure it's what it is, but it's pretty close. And I would contact people like that, even if it's close, because they'll have another idea. They're in the transportation business. They're looking for small businesses to be transportation-oriented suppliers, and that would be. Also, here I tell you about the SBA that gives grants to investors. And these are SBIC, Small Business Innovation, or ICs, investment corporations. So these companies and the investors get grants from the government to invest in businesses. So it's really not even their money. Actually, it's matching money. So they're losing only half. So this may be an interesting area too. And if you go to that website and get a list of all the businesses that get that, you'll see the ones in California, and they would be of interest. Investor meetups. If you go to meetup.com and put investors, you'll see meetup. So you look, these are fat cats looking for stuff to invest in. A lot of it's real estate, but it's other investments. Find that and you wind up going to a pizza dinner or something, and there may be something there. It's to me, we all don't know what to do because we don't know our options, and because we don't do this all the time. God, our options are pretty narrow. So it's trying to expand your mind, get out there and find more options, and that's why getting to people instead of the internet doesn't give you options, because you got to fight all the people that are selling you things. So you think your options revolve around you having a lot of money. No, you're going to look for money. This is why, because everybody wants to sell you something. Oh, just hire me and I'll solve all your problems. Okay, the other thing I have there in the report is angel investors. Now, what's interesting to me about angel investors are really for people like you starting out a business, and so they become partners in a way. And but what's interesting, they're all in a barrel now. Before the organization on the internet, you used to have to join a country club, to meet these kind of people and be in swanky, balls and stuff like that. But now you don't, because it's all online. You could put in what I did down there. You'll see there's like 6,000 angel investors in San Diego area. So it's just banging away on those. It's all a numbers game. The other thing there is non-bank banks. There's a section down there. I'm sorry. Before that, it's peer-to-peer business loans. Now, this is another kind of loans, and look at them closely because they're really interesting. I mean, it's a way to get loans with cutting out the middleman. I mean, see, banks run, person deposits the money and gets maybe 0.5% interest, and the bank lends it for 12% interest, right? Well, here, these loans are people doing it on the internet and cuts out the middleman. So you get 3% interest and they loan it at 7% interest. So everybody's making money, and the fat cat bankers are losing out. And this is why it's a growing area, and to look at that. Now, the amount of money you want, maybe there's some just for business there. So I would at least look into that. Look. And then actually banks, look at the banks for people who can't get money from banks. These are community development banks. Now, these are community banks that really, are, they have different motives. A bank is just trying to please investors in Wall Street, or, the headquarter bank or whatever. And they just bleed money out of people as much as they could get. That's their objective. Yeah. But these community banks are there to service the community, to make sure houses, are mortgaged, to make sure businesses are financed. That's all. And so they get grant money in addition to investor money. So they're able to be just nicer, in my mind, to deal with, and easier to deal with, and have, don't have as stringent requirements, because they're not trying to make a gazillion dollars to pay for their yacht. They're just trying to stay in business and help the community. Then crowdfunding. Now there's 3 ways, I think, for crowdfunding. And look at the crowdfunding section, and the other video, the introduction video, takes you more on all that. Crowdfunding is an interesting way to get money, even for startups like this. Now, you'd have to be clever on how you're going to finance this, because most crowdfunding money for businesses, you offer a little trinket or something like that, or it's sort of like NPR, you get a tote bag or something like that. You usually give people a sample, but this is not a consumer product what you have, so it's a little harder. But I think there's a way to do this with potential customers. In other words, on your crowdfunding, you could go and set up a campaign on one of these sites, but people don't get a lot, but they're getting, or even as a loan, you could crowdfund loans, like one of these peer-to-peer loan sites, and put it on there, and you're looking for loans from people in the business or potential customers that will lend you money to stay in business. See, there's all different ways to do this. And then also, if you want to talk more about that, I'll send you some other videos I have on that. To be clever, a way to do that maybe. The other thing in crowdfunding is fat cats. Fat cats can invest in crowdfunding. You could put your project on a website and get what they call accredited investors. These are fat cats, are allowed to invest in businesses on the internet. I have a whole listing of them down there. So you could put your project on there for free and see, and only people bid on there are people making like $250,000 or more. That's investors. So that's a way to do it. And now there's another way to do that to the average folk. So you could get investors in your business, your brother-in-law, for $1,000 or $100 or $500. That just started a couple months ago. They've been working on the regulations to do this for a long time. And now the average person can do this. But for you, it's going to cost you a few $1,000s to be set up to do that. But it's a way to raise money as a public company without being a fat cat. See, they did this for, so there's a way that the average person could get in on the ground floor of the next Facebook. Because what happened, in companies now, that are big, y'all had to know somebody, and big brokerage firms and everything, and it was an old boys network. So crowdfunding is supposed to eliminate that, so the average person could invest in companies, the average person could start a company and everything and make it smaller, better, cheaper, forever. Now, people are limited that can invest how much. They can only invest $1,000 or $2,000, and you can only raise $1 million. Well, no, that's enough, right? But it's a way, and I have a video here. So how internet gives Wall Street money to any small business now. So watch that internet and watch that video. I'll tell you about that, and then watch the other video, the other introduction video that tells you about the programs from money to start a business in small town to the rest of the report. That's what that is. Well, I hope it helps. I'm a little tired now. It's on the East Coast, we're late. You see, it's sort of dark around here. But thanks again for trying me, and I'm sorry I was so late, the holidays and business, but it's a nice problem. I like having a problem with too much business. Again, it was a joy chatting with you. So let me know if you have any questions.